What is up everyone, it's CMG here. So for today's video, as promised, we will be taking a small look at both Mythic skins for Season 18. So we have Sojourn's new Mythic skin, Ultraviolet Sentinel, which I now believe to be my all-time favorite Mythic skin in Overwatch 2. As you can see, I have already unlocked it. Now the other Mythic skin is based on Cassidy's weapon, which is called Blazing Sunsetter. Now, as far as weapons go, in my opinion, I'm not overly interested in them as much as I do full-blown Mythic skins. However, some of these weapons have what Mythic skins don't, which are the kill effects and the flourishes, which do indeed focus more on the weapon. So that's what makes them feel a bit more unique, right? Anyway, we'll be taking a look at this as well, as we have done in previous Mythic weapon videos. Alright, so before we take a look at both of these Mythic skins, just a reminder once again, if you like this idea for content and you want to see more in the future, go ahead and click on the subscribe button. It is completely free to do and it helps me out a massive ton. Thank you so much for doing it. I really do appreciate it. Right then, let us begin with taking a look at this absolute work of art. I'm sure you know how these work, these Mythic skins. We have 4 different tiers to every single Mythic. Each tier, well, the first tier costs, I believe, 50 Mythic Prisms, and then 2, 3, and 4, they are both, well, all 3 of them are 10 Mythic Prisms each, and then the aspects are 20. Okay, so this is tier 1 of Sojourn's Sentinel skin. So it's basically like a white version of the skin. She's got blonde hair, and the highlighting is this cyan and pink sort of dynamic gradient sort of variation to the wiring, where you can see her head, sort of wiring coming out and everything. It's kind of like a dynamic sort of color change, but that's what it looks like at the very base of the skin. So this is what you get for tier 1. Tier 2, you get this sort of like different hairstyle. She's got like a visor, and then the armor has got like a gray version, and then the highlighting is more pink and gold. But the same applies with the gradient sort of dynamic changing. You can see there. So that looks pretty decent, actually. I've got to be honest. It's not as good as the first tier, because I kind of like the colors. But yeah, I do appreciate these kind of... You also got this sort of like armor plating as well, so that the armor kind of becomes a bit more apparent, and also the wiring at the bottom. There's more additional parts to it. Now tier 3... You get like a sort of like a much darker version of the skin. There's more red and dark purple, and I believe there's more armor as well. So the more tiers you go through, the more armor she kind of like gets added to the skin. And then the final tier, you get the massive dynamic effects. So you get like sort of like a glitchy sort of neon effects as well. You get like this crazy sort of ribbon that comes out. Honestly, it just looks amazing. This skin looks absolutely incredible everywhere. There is one thing that really does bother me about this skin. If there's one thing that I'm not sure about, that really does bother me, is the color of the hair. Now, I remember when I was watching the live stream where the devs sort of talked about the skin and how it was designed. They actually showed like a prototype of what it used to look like, what the hair used to look like. It looked a bit like this. Now, obviously, it shows like a sort of like a pink and blue gradient for the hairstyle. I honestly think they should have kept that design and not have the blonde hair, because I think it kind of like sticks out like a sore thumb. And I don't know, it just doesn't really go with the skin very well. I think that's just my honest opinion. But I think if they'd have had that kind of variant of the hairstyle instead of the blonde, I think it would have been 10 times better. Don't get me wrong, I think this is 100% the absolute best Mythic skin, in my opinion. There are some people that do talk about this skin, they're not really too keen on it, but in my opinion, I think this is the best skin ever. And of course, let's not forget as well, there's also some different colored hairstyle variants as well, so honestly, I would have liked the sort of like grey hair to go with the white sort of variation of the color. I think this is what it really does bother me about the way that the Mythic skins are designed, and if there was any kind of way that we could even further customize these skins, it would be really nice if we'd be able to take that white hair that she's got here and this color variant, and then apply it to this the sort of the white cyan blue kind of color skin instead of the blonde. So we can sort of like further customize them. I don't know why, it's just a real unfortunate the Mythic skins are designed that way, but it is what it is, I guess. But that's pretty much what that basically is. So this is what the Mythic skin will look like when you fully unlock all of the tiers. But honestly, it looks amazing. This is what my design looks like. So I've got this. Obviously I've got the effects on. Or I should have. I don't know why I haven't got them on. I've got this visor and I've got this color variant. So yeah, this is what my Mythic skin looks like in the game. So this is my choice. This is my customization. This is how I use it. It's amazing. I love it. So this is what the aspects for the Ultraviolet Sentinel looks like. So this is what it would look like on the Sentinel skin. Honestly, I'm not really a big fan of the iridescent aspect on this skin. The only reason why I say that is because pretty much every single Mythic skin has the iridescent aspect included to it. So for that reason, it doesn't look very unique to the skin. I don't know why. Maybe it's just me being a bit nitpicky, but I think that's just how it is. Now the other one is the gold variation, which is this. Again, I'm not really a big fan of gold variant because the truth is, every other Mythic skin has this aspect available to it. So it's not really unique to the skin. It's just like a layover. And I'm not really a big fan of the aspects. Unless it really does look good on the skin, I probably won't unlock it. Yeah, the same can be said for the iridescent as well. The iridescent looks great, but I just prefer like sort of different colored variations for a skin to be quite unique with that skin, for me to sort of like appreciate it a bit more. I don't know if that makes sense to anybody, but yeah. So yeah, that's pretty much the Ultraviolet Sentinel skin. I really love this skin a lot. It's one of my favorite skins in the game, without a question. And yeah, definitely an awesome skin, and I'll be using the sound effects for this are incredible as well. Right, so we've talked a little bit about the Ultraviolet Sentinel. Now, let's talk about the Blazing Sunsetter weapon for Cassidy. So, I'm sure you know how these work. You unlock the weapon at level 50, and then you have the... what is it now? I think it's the effects. Yeah, it's the effect of the weapon when you gradually start killing enemies in the game. Then you have the flourish, and then you have the kill effect. So let's go ahead in-game. Well, let's go into the training mode and let's take a look at this skin a bit deeper. Alright, so this is what the Blazing Sunsetter weapon for Cassidy looks like in-game. You can see on the HUD there's like this crazy sort of effect, or sort of like crazy HUD design near where the ultimate is, with these crazy red, almost looks like chambers, like bullet chambers, I think that's what they want to call it. But anyway, this is what it looks like before you've started even eliminating anybody. So when you start eliminating enemies in the game, what will happen is the chamber on the front of the weapon will fall off, and then what you're left with is a flaming gun, which is incredible. I'll just continue to eliminate some of these right here and now. So this is what it will look like at tier... Well, obviously tier 1 is the weapon. Tier 2 is what we're going to show up in a minute. So as you can see, the chamber has kind of fallen off, and you're left with this really sort of flaming chamber of the flaming front part. Now, the more you eliminate enemies in the game, the more it will start to flame up. So as I'm eliminating more enemies here, the chamber of the gun starts getting red hot, and it starts to flame up. There you go. As you can see, you've eliminated a lot of enemies, and now look at that. That looks incredible. Sort of flamed up a little bit. Now, the flourish is basically that. He just swirls his gun around like that. It's just basic. It's very, very basic. Uses the trigger, sort of like spins it around with his finger. It's pretty much very standard. I mean, you'd expect Cassidy to be sort of like swirling his gun around like that because he is a cyber cowboy. You know, he should be doing sort of things like that. But it's only when you don't need to reload though. You can do all that sort of thing. Swirl the gun around. It's pretty neat. Now the kill effect is basically when you eliminate, they turn into skulls. Obviously I've been showing it for the most of it, but every time you eliminate, they just turn into some sort of skull, and then it kind of just sort of disintegrates like that. It's pretty neat, actually. So there you go, both Mythic skins for Season 18, the Ultraviolet Sentinel for Sojourn, and the Blazing Sunsetter weapon for Cassidy. Let me know what you think of both of these Mythic skins. Have you bought both of them? Have you bought one? Or do you plan on not buying any of these or saving for a future Mythic skin? Let me know in the comment section down below. So this is going to be the end of the video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this idea for content and you want to see more in the future, go ahead and click on the subscribe button. Send a comment, like the video, and then turn on your notifications. It really does help me out a great deal. You can also check me out on all of my other social medias, my Twitter account, my Discord, and of course my TikTok, and let's not forget as well my Instagram, my Threads, and my Blue Sky. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Have a great day, have a great life, be nice to your fellow gamers because we're all human beings. I've been CMG as always. Until the next video, I shall see you later. Peace.